concerns. Well, we want to talk more about this, and I am joined now in studio by Oluwole Ojewale, who's the Regional Coordinator for Central Africa at the Institute for Security Studies. Oluwole, thanks so much for joining us on the program. And you've been following the situation closely. Given the concerns, the ongoing security situation in Mali, is it still feasible to imagine the UN peacekeepers withdrawing by December this year?
I think that is non-negotiable based on the fact that the decision was arrived at based on the unanimous decision of the UN Security Council, except there is a contrary review, perhaps due to recent development, particularly the potential outlook for Wagner that is actually supplanting these forces in the region. It is very, very unlikely that that decision is going to be reversed.
I mean, let's talk about some of the concerns. Vast portions of Mali under the control of Islamist insurgent groups linked with ISIS and Al-Qaeda as well. I mean, some see risks in withdrawing the UN peacekeeping group at a time like this.
Well, because the state is actually ejecting them, there's nothing that they can do. And what we're going to be witnessing, which we have actually started witnessing, is that security is going to continue to deteriorate in the countries, particularly these countries that have now been tagged the cool beds because of the proximity. And then we are likely going to see the spillover effects in these countries because some of the armed groups are actually having a field day now. There have been reports of increase in attack, as you have cited. In fact, in the last 2 years, the Islamist group have doubled the portion of the territory that they were controlling before we started witnessing military incursion into politics in the country.
So one then wonders, what options would the military junta have in this?
Well, the only option that they have is to continue to work with Wagner that is presently disoriented. And then these are countries that have not been investing in critical area of security sector reform in the country. So there is really no much option because the military are only going to be preoccupied with regime protection. And as long as they are doing that, they will be withdrawing soldiers from the field, and then those places will become ungoverned spaces where the terrorist group continue to run amok.
So what would the wider region, beyond Mali, neighboring countries and broader West Africa look should there be a complete withdrawal of UN peacekeepers by December? What might next year, for example, look like?
Well, we have to situate it in the context of what is going on in the West African region now, particularly with what is happening in Niger and the potential escalation of the issues if they are not properly handled diplomatically. So I think the region is fast evolving into an unstable, ungoverned spaces because of the pariah states in terms of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. And we are also seeing the regrouping of the EU forces along the littoral states now. I think that is also strategic. So the nations have to come together. First, secure yourself because it's about your personal interest to start with before you look at the collective interest. So as long as these three countries are treated as pariah states, we are going to see deterioration of security because they are preoccupied with regime protection. And the spillover effect will be felt in other smaller countries. If
you're able to tell me this in 30 seconds, should the UN completely withdraw by December, what would you say has been their performance over the last 10 years? Because some say this is a damning verdict that they did not do what they were deployed there to actually do.
No, there are many factors that is leading to the reason for the withdrawal. You know, the involvement of Wagner is creating a security logjam. And in that atmosphere where you don't have cooperation, you either have to withdraw. And as long as this continues to play out, and the military is not cooperating with the other countries, it will continue to deteriorate.
Thank you so much. Quite some analysis there. Oluwole Ojewale, who's the Regional Coordinator for Central Africa at the Institute for Security Studies. Well,